name is Farah Najiha binti Sulaimi, and you can call me Farah.
Hi sir, my name is Rosani Dawati Harun and you can call me Rose.
Hi sir, my name is Norshada binti Zayadi and you can call me as Ishu.
Hello sir, my name is Jumila Tunada binti Ramli and also you can call me as Jumi.
Number 1. An insurance company has high levels of absenteeism among the office staff. The head of office administration argues that employees are misusing the company's sick leave benefits. However, some of the mostly female staff members have explained that family responsibilities interfere with work. Using the Mars model, as well as your knowledge of absenteeism behavior, discuss some of the possible reasons for absenteeism here and how it might be reduced.
Okay, I will answer the question number 1. Okay, the reason why the female employees have to absent from work is firstly because of their children. So when the female employees who has been married, they have to manage their children. For example, if one of the children gets sick, they need to take a leave to take the children to the clinic and take care of them to make sure that they get the medicine and a good food. So the second one is due to pregnancy. So the woman who is pregnancy, they have to take a leave to for the doctor appointment, and also when they give a birth, so they have to take maternity leave for usually 3 months. Okay, so how the company can reduce this problem? Okay, in my opinion, according to the Mars model, it's based on situational factors whereby the company needs to prepare a good facilities for their employees, such as they build a nursery in the workplace where the female employee can send their children to the nursery. At the same time, she can perform her task. So, for example, in HUKM, they built a nursery for the doctors or the nurse to send their kids to the nursery. So the second point is based on the characteristic, individual characteristic, where the manager need to be tolerant for the second reason, which is the pregnancy woman. As we know that the pregnancy woman, the emotional can't be read. So the manager can reduce their task to reduce her stress, as well as they can at the same time she can perform her work where the work is not really much to be do. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Most large organizations spend a lot of money identifying the key competencies for superior work performance. What are the potential benefits and pitfalls associated with identifying competencies? Are there alternatives to selecting employees rather than by identifying their competencies?
Okay, now I'll answer the question number 2. So there are several advantages and disadvantages if the company select their employees by looking at the competencies. For the first advantage is the company will perform very well since they have a high skilled employees, and it will result a quality and a great performance, such as there is no wastage, no defect, and it will meet the customer's satisfaction. And the other advantages is the company will save their money since they do not have to send their employees to be trained. However, the disadvantage is the employees will work in a comfort zone, so there is no motivation, no competitive to improve their performance, to improve their work. So in my opinion, the company or organization supposedly select their employees by looking at their education qualification or experience, because that type of employees can adapt in all situation, in all tasks, and they can share their experience with the other employees. Okay, thank you.
Question 3. A visiting professor in an international business recently spoke to the student in an organizational behavior class about cultural differences between American and Japanese employees. Relying on a famous study in 1960, the scholar explained that Japanese employees have a high degree of collectivism and consequently must logically also have a low level of individualism. The visitor then noted that Americans have exactly the opposite values. They have high individualism and low collectivism. The visitor concludes by saying that by identifying someone's nationality, such as American, you can easily determine the person's level of collectivism and individualism.
For question number 3A, identify and explain any 4 cultural value dimension by Jed Hofstede.
Okay, for the answer of question number 3A, the first culture dimension is individualism-collectivism. Okay, now I will explain about what is individualism. Individualism means that a person that is only ties with her or himself only, whereby he or she has a loose tie from the surrounding people, rather than collectivism is really interdependent with the people surrounding, and he willing to enter any group at the outside from the group. The second culture dimension is uncertainty avoidance, whereby it means that in a group or in a society, it must have a culture that we need to be tolerate or accept any thoughts or ideas from the other people. And the third dimension is a power distance, whereby it means that there is be a hierarchy in a society, whereby the top management and the lower management need to cooperate each other, whereby the top will be able to allocate any information to the lower management, or the lower management can give opinions or ideas to the top management. So, and the last one is masculinity-femininity, whereby the masculinity refer to the culture that aggressive to achieve more to success, more to the reward, whereby the femininity refers to the society that more modest and willing to share any information or any ideas to the people.
Question 3B, state 3 errors that could arise with the visiting professor's statements.
The answer for the question 3B, the first one is lack of cooperation. The second one is cannot assume people in general. And the last point is hard to evaluate in collectivism.
Question 3C, explain the 3 errors in relation with the visiting professor's statements.
The answer for question 3C, it will be based on the answer from question 3B. For the first point is lack of cooperation, which is in one group, not all the people can participate in performing the task. So it will be an existence of individualism in the group itself. This is because not all of the participants will have the same qualification, experience, ideas, and opinions. So it will cause an argument in the group itself. For the second point, we can assume people in general. Like for example, like what have the visitor did, which is by saying that by identifying someone's nationality, such as American, you can easily determine the person's level of collectivism and individualism. So at here, this supposedly it should not happen earlier because different people have different personalities. So we can assume that all people have the same kind of habit, same kind of personality. Okay, for the last point, it's hard to evaluate in characterism. This is because when they are together, we cannot determine who is performing their work, their task well, and who are not participate in performing their test. Thus, as a result, it will give a bad implication, which is the manager itself may give a reward to the wrong people who is not deserved for the reward itself. Thank you.